there's never been anybody ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston, I'm Jack Dempsey, there's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw, there's no one that can match me.
My name is Not Seeing the Dream. I'm a 15-year amateur boxer, giving my views and opinions on everything boxing related. I'm here to give you guys consistent, reliable, unbiased commentary. Boxing is my passion, slaying trolls is my hobby. Hope you enjoy. Like, comment, and subscribe. According to BoxingScene.com, Jose Benavidez will now be fighting Danny Garcia in a triple header event on July 30th. This card will also feature Gary Antoine Russell, a young, undefeated, talented prospect rising to the ranks at under 40 pounds. And also, we will see the turn of heavyweight contender Adam Kalinowski after his two back-to-back losses to Robert Helenius. I can't wait to see this fight, though. It's going to be a good little card. It's 3 fights. I want to see how more progression we can see from Gary Antoine Russell, and I also want to see if Adam Kalinowski can make the necessary adjustments to beat his opponents, because he has lack of defense, and that's ultimately what caused him to get his first 2 losses. That being said, though, to this fight against Benavidez versus Garcia, I see that Danny Garcia, using his vast experience, having 36 fights, 39 fights, 36 wins, 21 wins by KO, and 3 losses to the best fighters in his division, are ultimately what's going to lead him to beat Jose Benavidez Jr. Jose Benavidez Jr. He has a decent resume. You know, he's fought Terrence Crawford. Like I said, he fought Torres, and I thought against Torres he was getting absolutely outboxed. Torres was using the jab pretty well, countering Benavidez a lot. Benavidez at that fight, due to him being shot in the leg, lack of mobility, and that ultimately proved for me what led him to loss against Jose Benavidez. He wasn't throwing enough combinations, letting off the gas a lot of the times throughout that fight, and you know, his lack of mobility, even though it's not his fault, that's what was going to cause him to lose against Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia himself is not super swift, you know, like his nickname. He's flat-footed, but he uses angles pretty well, and he knows how to counter people extremely well. He's beaten Amir Khan, Lucas Matias, Zab Judah, Eric Morales, Adrian Grandados, and so many other fighters. He arguably beat Sean Porter in a very competitive, close fight. But the problem with Danny Garcia is he doesn't let his hands go. But ultimately, I don't think that Jose Benavidez Jr. has what it takes. I think at best he's going to win 4 rounds at best. I think he's going to throw some nice combinations, counter Danny Garcia a couple of times. I think Danny Garcia is going to go down to the body with a straight left hook, straight right hand. I think Danny Garcia is going to throw combinations at this point, whether it be the 1-2-3 or the 2-3-4. He's going to use his left hook to counter Jose Benavidez Jr. all night, use his ring experience, cut off the ring, be aggressive at certain points throughout this fight. I think that Danny Garcia has a point to prove. I think they needs to go in there and try to knock Jose Benavidez Jr. out. This is going to be his first fight under 54 pounds, and to prove that Danny Garcia, he can hang with the fighters under 54, and he can be a better fighter, because like I said, his lack of punch output is ultimately what led him to loss in all of his fights, even the Errol Spence fight. If he had been more aggressive in that fight and threw more combinations, he ultimately could have a better chance to win that fight. But ultimately, he was intimidated by the power of Errol Spence Jr., and he kept looking for the one big shot, and it ultimately never seen it happen. That being said, though, I see that Danny Garcia, like I said, uses his jab, goes down to the body, counters with his left hook, and easily wins his fight. I don't know if Danny Garcia could be the top contenders or undisputed champion Jermell Charlo, due to the fact that they're all very much bigger than him. Danny Garcia is 5'8", so he's not that short, but Jermell Charlo is a big 154-pound fighter. So is Tim Tszyu, and so is Sebastian Fundora. I can't see him being none of those fighters. I'm thinking Sebastian Fundora is the worst case for Danny Garcia, because Danny Garcia, he don't throw enough punches, and Sebastian Fundora likes to come forward and throw a lot of punches and likes to go down to the body and to the head. It would be a massacre for either one of them fights. I think he could beat Tim Tszyu with his counter-punching ability. Even Tim Tszyu has a chance in that fight due to his boxing ability, his power punching. I think that against Jermell Charlo, if he wants that fight, he's going to get knocked out by Jermell Charlo, because Jermell Charlo is very similar to Errol Spence. Only the thing is that he's a bigger fighter, and I think that he's going to dominate that fight and break Danny Garcia down and be the first person to actually knock down Danny Garcia, get Danny Garcia out of there. Combination punching would be too much for Danny Garcia, as it was with Errol Spence. The fact that Errol Spence at 70% was able to beat Danny Garcia that easily doesn't give me confidence that he's going to be able to beat the top fighters at 154 pounds. But I'm rooting for Danny Garcia to win this fight. Like I said, he's one of those fighters that doesn't duck nobody. He's only lost to the best fighters in the division. So I expect this to be an easy win. But to wrap this up, this is Not Seeing the Dream. Rocky's head is next to sleep. I'll holler at y'all another one. Peace.